put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Sorry, I probably should have done that before I started today. But if I don't do it, then I'm surely going to start getting bombarded with calls and whatnot. So, well, Do Not Disturb, please. There it is. Okay. So, good morning and good day to you, everybody. Gianna Morgile here, checking in live from Honey Pass, South Carolina. Today is January the 10th. It is a Friday, and I hope y'all are ready for the weekend. Here in Greenville, I've been looking at the weather reports. We are fitting to get hit by that blizzard. Like, it is crept up to our door, and I think we'll finally be getting our first snow of the year in the form of a blizzard, right? That's what it's looking like here. Maybe we'll hold out here in Greenville area for the duration. Maybe we'll never get the snow. That would be nice, but I think it's coming. We'll see. Last year, I believe it was last year here in this area, we didn't get our first snow until after springtime, I think. It was one of these recent years where like it didn't snow all winter, and then after like right around the time when it switched over to spring, that's when we get our first snow. So weird weather for sure. Anyways, so nobody is here. I guess I better kill a bit of time before I continue saying much, because I don't want to be speaking to either. There you are. What's up, people? John the Morgile, thank you for joining. What's up, Irish Dave? Let me get a thumb up and a share if you don't mind. Help to promote the stream to others. I would appreciate it. And we are just getting started, so I'll definitely give everybody a chance to pop in before I begin with the meat of the presentation today. Bear with me. Thanks, Irish Dave. I appreciate the thumbs. Yeah, let's please see some thumbs up if y'all don't mind. And I guess, so for starters, we'll just do a quick housekeeping item. So as I've been doing these periodical real earth affirmations, I've realized that much of the title is taken from all of those words, right? And so I hired a guy from NASA, and I paid him a nominal fee, and he came up with an acronym for periodical real earth affirmations. And boy, it was worth it, man. I got to tell you, those acronym guys are worth every penny. So from now on, when I do a post and it's just all caps PREA at the beginning, PREA, periodical real earth affirmations. Okay. No, I didn't actually pay a guy from NASA. I paid Matt Boylan to do it. No, I'm kidding. Sorry. Okay. So another funny thing that is sort of occurring in the background with me recently. So like, I'm still trying to figure out this whole social media thing, right? I started implementing, doing Facebook years ago, and then YouTube I started doing, as a content creator for one specific reason, really only. But I have been trying to, spread out into other social medias. Back when Twitter was Twitter, I tried messing with that, and I could never even, stick around there for longer than a few minutes. Hey, baby, come here. Come in here. Oh, hold on, y'all. Here comes Boogaloo. Come on, Boogaloo. Wait a minute. Oh, sorry, ma'am. Wait a minute. Okay. There she is. There's my baby. Okay. She loved that coconut oil, you guys. Whoever, Mariah, and also somebody else, I forget who, was telling me in the chat last night to try a teaspoon of coconut oil. First of all, she loved it. She lapped up every bit of it last night. This morning, she slept great. She didn't wake me up throughout the night to be going to poops, so that's good. But then this morning, she had a couple of real good poops. And then I gave her another teaspoon with her food this morning of the, because she's got this big, like, it's like a grapefruit-sized swollen area in her belly. I don't know what, I think it's probably like a blockage of some sort. I mean, she's been pooping good. right? But I can tell that it's kind of bothering her. So a vet told me I could bring them a pile of money and they could drain it, but I don't have a pile of money, and I'm not going to try to like drain it myself. I'm no surgeon, right? But so that is I love the sort of natural options, and so I will definitely let y'all know how it goes. I mean, but so far, like she loved it. I Who would have thought that a dog would love a little bit of coconut oil with their food? So she absolutely loved it. But then it didn't tear her stomach up or anything, and hopefully we'll start seeing that swelling go down. So thank you guys for that tip. Boo Boo, thanks you too. But so in terms of the social media thing I was mentioning, so like I last night I stumbled in because I know that Instagram is kind of a big deal. I do have an Instagram page, although I don't do much with it. I don't even know how to post a link on there, right? So I must be really bad at this whole interneting thing. I just can't really find my groove on things like TikTok, which I've tried. Oh, god dang, Lily. Sorry, Lily is not the best co-host. Hold on. Come on, Bubbas. Get your butt over here. Wait a minute. Oh, hell, she's caught on the thing. Hang on, Bubbas. Shit. Mina, can you help me? Never mind. Okay. All right, you sit over there, Bubs. You sit over there, baby. Good girl. Um, so I'm not like the best with TikToking or Instagramming or any of that. But so I guess yesterday or the day before, this thing popped up about Instagram threads. And so I'm thinking it's like, okay, so maybe Instagram has a short reels thing, or Instagram, maybe they're implementing some kind of a like a Twitter thing. But no, so let me make sure if I have this wrong, y'all let me know. Okay. So what Threads is, it's a module on Instagram where like the most gorgeous women in the world pretend to be single, right? And they also pretend that or they're like super insecure. They think they're ugly. They can't find a decent man in the entire world. But then they also spam their own profile pictures with like midget porn, and they'll actually reach out to you. Oh, so the other thing is like, so you'll get all these what look like DMs from all these absolutely gorgeous and insecure women who can't find a date for some reason, and you'll realize, well, wait a minute, these aren't DMs, these aren't private messages, because this one has 157 hearts and 27 replies to it, right? So okay, so they're not actually DMs, and a lot of these profiles, like they'll like try to contact you, but like me, I'm very wary of people on the internet, right? And so for the longest time, if somebody's texting back and forth that I don't know who they are, I just assume in the back of my mind there's a good chance they could be not who they claim to be, right? And so, sort of as a rule of thumb, I try to, hey man, let's talk on the phone for a minute so I can tell that you're a real person or not some robot or not some 357-pound Samoan dude named Sprinkles. So like, but so they'll when you tell them, hey, let's talk on the phone just for shits and giggles, right? They're like, oh, no, I don't feel comfortable with that. I'd rather keep it on DMs for now, right? And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, well, I don't feel comfortable dealing with you because you like a chick that doesn't feel comfortable talking on the phone. Like maybe this is a 2024 thing, but I didn't fall off some turnip truck yesterday, and I've known a lot of chicks in my time. That's like, I don't know, that's like saying a penguin that doesn't like the icebergs or some shit, right? Chicks love talking on the phone. What? Okay. So Instagram threads, man, I don't know. It's not like I was hunting for anything. I just thought it was a new module on Instagram, and I'm always, me, I'm always the cutting edge of social media. But so y'all tell me, what am I missing on threads? Is it just another way to like funnel incels into chicks OnlyFans pages? Is that what it is? Or is it just a way, it's yet another way for manipulative people on the internet to catfish unsuspecting boomers, right? Is that what it is? So I don't know, man. Like Zuckerfucker is just striking out left and right, in my opinion. Like the whole Oculus thing, oh man, that dude gives me the creeps, dude. I will come out and say it. Okay. Shalom, John, Anthony Potham. Shalom, John Rob from Georgia. What's up, man? Okay. So now that we've got a few of y'all in there, and there are 18 people in the stream so far, and yet only 6 thumbs. So let me hold y'all hostage just a minute before I get started. Let me see 10 thumbs in there before I get on to the next main point. We're up to 7. We only need 3 more thumbs. Come on. Can I get a thumb now? 3 more thumbs. No, I'm not good at that. I better just shut up. I always wanted to be an auctioneer. 8 thumbs, 2 more. That's good enough. Y'all keep thumbing it, and I'll just assume that we're going to get to 10. Okay, so the reason I subtitled this one Grapevine Rising Earth is because, I was reminded of something a few weeks ago. It's been more than a few weeks ago, I guess. Let me go find a lighter. Hold on. Sorry about that. So I was reminded a couple of months ago dealing with the Dell and the guys over at Beyond the Imaginary Curve channel, which, if y'all don't know Dell, he's a Scottish bloke. He's been in the sort of flurfer movement for a number of years. I tend to like the guy. Like, I think he's got a funny streak. He's also a beast on the guitar, so I always respect that as well. And I don't have anything against Dell. I do disagree with something that he and a lot of his group have been championing recently, and we will get into that. And so what we're talking about specifically is the whole rising Earth thing. But in this context, what I was reminded of is that I've only ever had a couple of brief interactions with Dell in like chats and things like that. So I've never, as far as I know, I don't think I've ever spoken with Dell on the phone directly or anything like that. We've never done a hangout or a talk or anything. But when I did my take on the whole rising Earth thing, and we'll get there, but I got inundated with hate from people that follow Dell, right? So, and I'm not going to say that they're like Dell's minions or anything like that, but just people who follow Dell and subscribe to the rising Earth concept, were proactively reaching out to me in response to the video that I did talking about the rising Earth thing. And for a minute there, I was not tempted, but I was very close to ascribe the behaviors of those people onto Dell himself, right? And I got to say that that's not a fair thing to do, but it is it's kind of a natural human response, and we got to be careful about those things because we are such socialized creatures, if you will. It's how do I put this? When somebody reaches out to you and says, I'm a friend of this person and you're a douche, right? As socialized creatures, we sort of tend to lump that party together as a sort of singular entity, right? Maybe not consciously, but subconsciously, I found myself getting embroiled in these negative thoughts towards Dell, right? And the thing is Dell has never said. I mean, I know he has said some pointy shit on the internet about the rising Earth thing, which I wholeheartedly disagree with for a myriad reasons. But I think it's definitely an interesting conversation. But when people start attacking me and maybe attacking is the wrong word because I didn't get any injuries, right? I didn't sustain any wounds. But when people start expressing vitriol virtually through the internet and their VPNs, I was trying to get all the V's in there I could. I got V on the brain, dude. Fuck, I don't know. I don't know what I was talking about. But yeah, rising Earth, man. V on the brain is like squirrel. So what the rising Earth people are saying? Oh, and so I never even did finish talking about threads, did I? I don't know, man. I like it. Wow. It makes you wonder how, like, thankfully, because everybody's an addict of something, right? Anybody that doesn't think that they're an addict of something is fooling themselves, right? That's why, like, I recommend that book I've mentioned a few times. I ended up happening to read while I was locked up for a few weeks. Russell Brand wrote that book called Freedom from Our Addictions. But one of the overarching sort of themes of the book was that, and especially in modern America, there are just so many addictive things thrown into our faces on a constant basis. So like if you're not addicted to like heroin or crack or methamphetamine or something, then you're going to be addicted to food, or you're going to be addicted to video games, or you're going to be addicted. I mean, there's just, maybe it's cars, maybe it's money, maybe it's your body count. You know what I mean? There are so many things that people tend to get addicted to. And the reason, it seems that people are so prone to addiction in the modern world is because of the lack of real connection between people and even family, right? So, like, as socialized creatures, we humans, we sort of thrive on connection, right? And so when we lack those necessary and healthy connections in our lives and in our socializing, um, we tend to um, start branching out into artificial connections, right? And those artificial connections can certainly be found in the likes of drugs, but those artificial connections can also be found in the likes of social media-ing, right? So I know there's a lot of soccer moms out there that say, oh, I'm not addicted to anything. I don't smoke and I don't even drink. But you do drink coffee every day and you can't really get out of bed without it. And you're also on that freaking Twitter and Facebook or X or whatever it is, uh, 24 hours a day, and you can't roll out of bed and let your feet touch the floor without scrolling endlessly. Yeah, that's an addiction, dude. And if someone were to take your phone away, ooh, man, yeah, you're addicted, right? And so I'm not dogging anyone, but we all need to be very careful about our addictions, because when they run amok, maybe it's gambling. Addiction becomes a problem when it starts negatively affecting your life and the people around you, right? And anyone that thinks that over social mediaing cannot have that effect on your family, then you are way far gone in denial, my friend. Way far gone in denial. And I hate to sound all judgy because I am not the one to talk, but um, anyways, the point that I was trying to make is that I don't harbor any animosity towards Dell, and I never have, but I sort of felt myself getting that way when a dozen people that followed him start being like very abrasive to me in comments, as well as private messages and emails and things like that. So with that being said, like, I just hope that there are those of you out there that maybe harbor animosity against myself or maybe others because of things that other people who happen to not be me have said or done to you or to people that maybe not ascribe that animosity towards me, if you don't mind. Maybe that never happens to anybody but me. Like, maybe it's all in my head and I'm the only one that sort of projects animosity onto other people based on the sort of herd mentality of people. But I just refuse to capitulate to herd mentality in any way, shape, or form. So Rising Earth. And again, the guy that has been championing this here lately is Dell. Scottish bloke from the channel on YouTube called Beyond the Imaginary Curve. I've actually done a couple of responses, to the arguments of rising Earth on my channel. I'll try to find a couple links and put like cards up. Zara puts the cards up there. But some of their arguments, like one of the main arguments involves, okay, so if you take a half-filled water bottle, and I'll probably butcher my explanation of this, and then I'm going to get trolled again endlessly. So if you take a half-full sealed water bottle, right, and drop it from a balcony, several floors, and if you're able to film it the entire way going down, the way that the liquid behaves in that bottle is entirely different than the way that the liquid behaves when you take the same bottle and like lay it on its side and then slide it across a table, right? So if you follow that with the camera and you observe what happens with the liquid inside, it behaves entirely differently, right? And so because of that behavior difference, their hypothesis is that the Earth is thusly rising upwards at 9.8 meters per second, full stop. So Dell and them are not claiming that it's an acceleration of 9.8 meters per second squared. They're saying that it's just a flat rate of 9.8 meters per second is the Earth rising up, right? And one of their sort of key pieces of evidence is this thing about the water bottles that I just told you. And, it kind of makes a little bit of sense what they're saying. However, my point of contention with that whole thing in particular is the fact that when you drop the water bottle, you're dealing with a non-inertial reference frame, okay? Because the bottle and the water and the air inside are all going, well, not the air inside, okay, but the bottle and the water are going to be falling towards the ground at an exact rate of acceleration, right? Exactly the same rate. Now, of course, the air inside is going to be trying to expand in all directions out of its containment, like air tends to do. But since it is pressure neutral with the outside air, it doesn't really come into play. Now, on the second example, when you're sliding the thing laterally across the table, that is an inertial reference frame. So like the water is going to want to stand still and the bottle is going to move. And so you have an entirely different setup in these two things, right? And yet what Dell is doing, and I don't know if this is intentional, I don't think he's being deceptive with it, but it's a mistake because one is an inertial reference frame and one is a non-inertial reference frame. And yet they're comparing and contrasting the two as if we're talking about apples and apples, okay? And you're not. And so like, I don't know, like if he was misunderstanding something like that intentionally, that's kind of a weird thing to do intentionally, right? So I don't think he's doing it intentionally, but once you've gone public and made a grandiose kind of off the wall claim like that, as human beings, we do tend to try to, not like all of us, but as humans, right, we tend to try to double down on, stick with our guns sometimes, okay? And in doing so, we may suffer from things like confirmation bias or cognitive dissonance or just wanting to be right about something, right? And, as a flat earth proponent, we are used to people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about arguing with us on something that we do know what the fuck we're talking about, right? So I get that. But at the same time, like, it kind of seems to me that y'all are the ones that don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Because the other part of their claim is that everything is rising upwards at a flat rate together, right? But everything isn't rising upwards at a flat rate together. Like helium balloons aren't rising upward at that same rate, right? Clouds are just stationary. So you're saying that the clouds, and so wait a minute. So like you're telling me when I jump off of a tree into the river, which I've done probably a zillion times in my life, you're telling me that I'm standing still, I'm not actually falling, and the air and the river are coming up to hit me in the ass as I'm standing still? That's bullshit, dude. Nah, bro. The Earth is measurably stationary. And it's like when we see these sort of ridiculous, in my opinion, ridiculous false dichotomies being pushed forth by flat earthers, it makes me extremely suspect. Now, again, I'm not saying anything negative about Dell or the guys over at Beyond the Imaginary Curve. Um, I'm not saying that these guys are controlled opposition or anything, but that behavior is exactly the sort of thing that controlled opposition would do. So I know that they're going to call me an idiot and I don't understand the rising earth theory and all this, but I definitely looked into it. And to each his own, like, don't listen to me. Everybody consider your own thing. I also looked into convex earth when, the Lord Stephen Christ was purporting that. And that was also, in my opinion, a bunch of bullshit. But I'm not going to tell people don't look into it because I know that my audience is not a pack of fools. And you guys are capable, fully capable of discerning, of discerning, right? And so, what's up, Crystal Gem, Loose Sapphire, Sunny Shine? One love, you guys. Appreciate y'all coming and hanging out. Wake Cool, still awake for a live 1:20 a.m. in Victoria, Australia. Oh, wait, way down under. Way down under. Hey, man, I need Australian accent lessons. Will you help me? I just need to talk on the phone with somebody from Australia, because it's one of my accents that I'm not happy with. Like, I can do it sometimes, but then it breaks down. I got to sort of like think Steve Irwin. It's such a hard one to do. And I'll tell you what, I really love Sky News. What's her name? Rita? Dibs on Rita, dude. Honestly, I always thought that, and she's probably not even Australian, watch me make a fool of myself, but I always thought that the Australian accent was not necessarily the sexiest accent in the world. But after Rita, maybe that's not even her name, but the Sky News Australia chick who's just adorable and funny as hell. Yeah, after Rita, like, I think Australian accent's one of the sexiest ever, dude, honestly. my wife's like, bullshit. Okay. Rising Earth thing, though, you guys, like, I'm not trying to dog on Dell, and I'm not trying to, start any animosity, but I was just sort of reminded, let's try to keep that sort of thing in mind, that, like, just because if people that follow a YouTuber or whatever piss you off and seem to not 100% represent some shit that I would champion, then just don't ascribe that to me. You know what I mean? And I would also just ask, the people that follow me, don't be dicks to people, man. Be kind to each other. Don't lie to each other. Open your mind, because there's shiltastic sauce inside. This has been John the Morgile. Y'all be good. Spread the word. Spread the world. And peace out, everybody. I'll see y'all later. Bye.